Hello Wolfpack. I want to talk about the Theta token again. I talked about this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and I want to talk about it again because we talked about it in a time in which we were in a very good position, right? I think off of memory, right? This is not certain, but off of memory, I think we were around that $5 region, right down here somewhere in the bottom. And I was thinking, we just saw this retest of this trend line upwards, trend line for support here, which we've seen hold on multiple occasions. And I was thinking we're going to see a bounce. We have seen that bounce. We've bounced up, roughly 77% from that region, from that video. So we're looking pretty good. We've already done pretty well on Theta, but I'm expecting it to go higher, and the reason being is because, well, you think about all of the newer altcoins, right? Theta only came out after the bull market in the last cycle, right? So it's come out in the bear market, and that's what a lot of the new coins have done, right? They've come out in the bear market. Not many people have really heard about them before. You think about Solana, you think about Avalanche, you think about Luna, for example. Those are just a few of them that, came out in the bear market. Not many people really knew about them, and then they kind of popped off in this bull market. Theta did the same thing. It had that massive rally at the start of the bull market, and it came down, and just like Solana and Avalanche and Luna, it came down, but this one is yet to rise back up, which I find interesting, and I find that, as something of massive opportunity, right? When a coin like Theta, brand new coin, great use case, right? Theta essentially, what it is you lend your bandwidth to streamers so they can have a better streaming quality, and you get rewarded in Theta token. So it's got that element to it, got that gaming as well, and gaming something is a sector that's been popping off quite well. In the last 24 hours, you think about Decentraland, which has absolutely gone parabolic, and Sandbox, which has gone parabolic, and Theta is in that sector, right? And Theta's done, some pretty decent moves, up 16%. It was up about, from what I remember, about 25 or more percent at one point, but 16% right now, so it's making moves, it's following that sector, and as the sector continues to grow, I'm expecting Theta to grow as well. On top of that, as I just said, it's a new coin that popped off, people loved it, and it's retraced down, and it hasn't really seen a pop-off again. But what we have seen on Theta, and the reason I'm making this video, is we have seen that maybe this is the time for it to pop off, and I'll tell you why. Well, we've had this massive triangular formation forming all the way since April, right, 2021 April, and we've just actually closed our first daily candle above it just yesterday. So what this is a massive buy signal for Theta, in my personal opinion. Due to the size of the triangle, don't expect it to pop off very, very, very quickly, right? If this was on the hour time frame, this would be within a day, we'd be pumping up. But, this triangle has been playing out, as I said, over 6 months now, 6.5 months. So, naturally, as the triangle is very long, the breakout would be very long as well. But the point is, how high can this thing go? Well, I think it can go pretty bloody high, right? What we can do is we can take a measurement from the first test of the triangle at the bottom, which is here in January this year. And we can measure that all the way upwards to the first test of the top of a triangle, and we can extrapolate that to the breakout point, which we've actually just seen yesterday. And we can see that Theta token, let's bring that down a little bit. There we go. Theta token actually has a target of 22 USD. We don't have a date on when that will be happening, but the point is 22 USD from a breakout target of a symmetrical triangle that has been forming on a macro scale for a very long time. That's a rise in value of around 200% just from this pattern. I think personally that it will actually go higher than that in this bull market, but that should be at a target we're looking at probably by the mid-December region, late December. So within the next 2 months, right? Within the next 2 months, 22 USD. That's what I'm thinking for Theta. And then obviously when we see the blow off top at the end of the cycle, it should go a little bit higher than that as well. I've got my price prediction for Theta. I just predicted 22 USD based off that triangle. That's not my personal prediction. That's just what the triangle suggests. But my price prediction for Theta, my personal price prediction, is 38 USD in this cycle. And the reason being is that we've reached, this is just a basic extrapolation of data. We reached around 16 USD at the same time as Bitcoin reached 64K. Assuming Bitcoin reaches my price prediction of 113K by January the 3rd, then we'll be seeing Theta reach about 38 USD, right? Extrapolating the data, adding 50% gains for altcoins, because our altcoins typically outperform Bitcoin by about 50% in that market cap region. So 38 USD is a logical target for Theta. The triangle suggests 22 USD. So honestly, if you wanted to be conservative, you could say that, start taking profits at 22 and take profits progressively until we reach 38, where you'll be fully scaled out of Theta. That's what I'd be doing, right? That's what I'm personally doing. You know, unless this thing blows up so quickly and everything gets left behind, well, then what I'll do is I'll take profits from Theta and filter it back into altcoins that are still on the ground. But if that doesn't happen, it just kind of grows with the market. Looking at 22 USD to start taking profits at. So that's interesting to see for Theta. What we're seeing on the charts as well, and we'll delete this MACD here. We're seeing on the stochastic RSI here, we've bounced off of this region here in the center line of the stochastic RSI, and we've bounced upwards. We're reaching overvalued territory, but it's honestly nothing to worry about. As you can see, the stochastic RSI isn't necessarily too reliable. We reached overvalued territory here on June 25th, and we still continued all the way upwards in August, right? So we reached overvalued territory on $5.70, and then we reached upwards of $7.71. It's happened before, right? It happened over here in March. We reached overvalued territory here at around $7, and we continued upwards all the way to 15. So it doesn't really mean too much. And you know, we have had areas where we've topped out, we've come down a little bit, and then bounced more, right? We saw it here. In April, right, we topped out here, as I just pointed out, at $7. We came down again, and now we're bouncing. That's similar to what we're doing now, and we bounced up a 2x from that region. So we could be seeing a considerable bounce. The stochastic RSI isn't necessarily a reliable indicator. As for the SMAs, we've flipped all of the SMAs. They've all converged into a very tight price point, and that's why we've seen this spiky move to the upside. We've flipped the Gaussian channel, which is good to see. And as for the VVPR, we'll zoom in a little bit. We flipped the POC, which is the point of control of the VVPR. And if we do need to come down to correct on Theta, the POC suggests that we have pretty strong support at around $6.80. So we shouldn't be dropping below that again, in my personal opinion. You know, what we could be seeing on Theta in the coming days is a drop down to retest the breakout of this triangle and then continue to the upside. We have rejected off of our potential rejection zone, which we've rejected off multiple times in the past. Rejected from it here, and here, right? So this is 4 rejections from this zone. So I'm not scared about that at all. I think we'll, you know, very, very likely to break through that zone. You know, you don't see a triangle this big playing out for this long and coming this far to the end of it and then just go sideways, right? This is definitely a breakout for Theta unless the market goes absolutely south in the next, you know, couple of months. I think Theta is going to be making some massive moves. You know, if you're not in Theta already, you'd probably want to get in as soon as possible. I wouldn't be waiting, you know, for it. I just said we're going to retest this triangle. I think we are, right? I think we are going to retest the triangle, but I wouldn't be waiting for it, right? It's just broken out of a 6-month triangle. I'd recommend just getting into these current prices if you wanted to, of course. And, you know, keep in mind that we have already moved up 77% from the optimal buying range, right? Actually 93%, right? Because we bought Theta on this channel down here at the bottom, just at around $5 in that major support zone. So, you know, buying now is considerably riskier, and you have to manage that risk. You know, you have to take into account that there is a risk there, but it's still a good point, right? It is a breakout. We have seen a breakout, so naturally that is a buying signal, but just be careful. Don't go saying, oh, Wolves of Crypto, what happened? Well, I bought down here at $5, so you're actually a little bit late to the party. But, you know, as I said, you know, breakouts are usually when you want to buy on patterns like this. So I don't see any reason why, if you're looking at a medium time frame, right? If you're looking at the next few weeks to the next couple of months, I don't see any reason why Theta won't be making some massive moves. If we look at the weekly chart, and we just looked at the weekly chart, we can say $22 to $38. We can look at the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart, and we can see this is another bullish signal for Theta. And that is that we've actually just come up and we've been bouncing around the bottom of this Bollinger Band for a while, and we've come up and bounced off the center line, which is great to see. We saw these bands are converging, and when you see convergence in the Bollinger Bands, it means that a move is on the way. We've just bounced off the center line, we're just making that move, and on this weekly close, we will also be seeing, and this is one of the most bullish things about Theta, on this weekly close in 19 hours, we will be seeing a bullish MACD cross, which should drive it up even further, right? So it's pretty clearly a buy signal on Theta. Bitcoin pair we can look into briefly. We can see that we've been a downtrend since March, and we're finally bottoming out, and we're seeing a little resurgence in value here, a little bounce, which is great to see. Worst case scenario, we come down a little bit further to our support zone at 787 sats before bouncing. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're just going to bounce here and form a new support zone. This is a relatively new token, right? Relatively new coin. It hasn't really seen a bull market before, so we don't really have much historical support. So we're forming new zones constantly, right? I think we'll easily be able to take out the all-time high on the Bitcoin pair this cycle for sure. One thing I want to mention about Theta, and one thing I like about Theta, and a lot of you would know, and I've caused a bit of controversy in the space about this in some of my videos, but you know, I really do like looking into tokenomics, and Theta has perfect tokenomics, right? It has 100% of the supply in circulation. That is the total supply of Theta. There will never be any problems with tokenomics of Theta. Every coin that will ever exist is in circulation currently, and there can never be any more. So that's great to see. That's something you don't need to worry about. I think Theta's a great buy, guys. You know, I've been talking about this for a while. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.